Welcome back. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer revealing newly obtained financial records, which show Hunter Biden received $260,000 from Chinese nationals, his partners, on wires listing Joe Biden's Delaware home as the beneficiary address. These payments from Beijing happening just months after Joe Biden launched his 2020 presidential campaign. Kansas Congressman and Oversight Committee member Jake LaTurner telling me more on this earlier this morning.
This is a big deal. Joe Biden told the American people that his family received no money from China. Jonathan Lee, the person that paid over $250,000 to Hunter Biden, is a member of the Chinese Communist Party. He's well known for buying up land in the United States. Hunter Biden, while living in California, used his father's address in Delaware to receive this wire transfer.
Well, we said it earlier, Charisse, the CCP is inside the gates of America.
Yeah, 100%. And the more we dig, the more I'm sure is going to come up. Every single time we dig deeper into all of this, something new surfaces. And I think it's really important that the public doesn't get distracted with some of the other things that are being used in the media to distract them, such as the Trump indictments, et cetera. And my concern is that the CCP stuff is going to get swept under the rug really quickly. So I just think it's important that we really make sure we pay attention.
Well, once again, the Democrats are talking about Russia, and in fact, it is China as the number one adversary. Who sets up 20 shell companies while vice president? $20 million going to Biden family members, 9 family members. Your thoughts?
It's mind-boggling.
I know.
I mean, the fact that we're even talking about this and that it's so out there and so documented, and yet nothing has really happened other than just talk, et cetera. I mean, it's mind-boggling. But, you know, Lauren, you made an interesting point earlier, and that was one side of the equation is the money going to the Bidens. The other side of the question is then what went back to China? What did the Bidens do for China? And I think the burden is on Republicans at this point in the investigation to make that linkage, because without that linkage, it's just really ugly and dirty and sleazy and bad and awful. But there needs to be a tit for tat.
Well, we're trying to figure out what policy changes, if any, Joe Biden made. I know that he did oversee a memorandum of understanding back in 2014, which allowed thousands of Chinese companies to trade on U.S. exchanges without following SEC rules. There was no accounting rules for the Chinese companies, thousands of them. And Joe Biden was vice president. I don't know if he got paid for that, but it was. He also came into the White House in 21 and immediately canceled the China initiative. Was that something he was paid for? We don't know.
I mean, let's look at the politics of this, too. You know, impeaching Joe Biden will be extraordinarily expensive. Impeaching Trump the first time cost a conservative $10 million. And polling shows Americans simply, I know it's not a popular opinion, don't care about this as much as they care about Joe Biden's economic failures, immigration crisis, kitchen table issues, as every congressperson has said today, and parents' rights and education. If it's about those issues, crime, economy, Republicans will win. If the centerpiece of their 2024 campaign is Hunter Biden, they will lose, and they will lose.
But I think I don't agree. I think most people understand the threat of communist China, that China wants to overtake the United States as the #1 superpower and does not want a politician pocketing money to make policy changes that are favorable to our #1 adversary.
But when you ask them to rank issues, investigating Trump and investigating Biden are at the bottom of a list of 20 issues.
Well, corruption is up top. Corruption is up top. It's either 2 or 3.
Let's look at the ties of the economy with what's going on with the dirty deals in Ukraine as well. Because when we're sending billions of dollars to Ukraine to support Ukraine, 30% of their economy right now, and then we're seeing that the president and his family had some dirty deals going on there as well. I think Americans do connect the dots here.
I think so, too. And that's a good point. Ukraine also sent the Biden family money.